Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dear viewers. Welcome once more to Requiem for Nora Hillingham, to be precise. And where does our scene begin? Well, it begins with Nora Hillingham stepping out of her motorcade in Green Park. Earlier in the evening, she came to a conclusion that desperate times call for desperate measures. And what can we say? Perhaps it is her nature, her being, what drives her to become a part of the order. That need, throwing caution to the wind, stepping off the map into the wilds where there be monsters. But fear grips her heart. Fear as she looks once more, knowing where it is. Her eyes don't want to look there at first. Part of it is not because she is afraid. Part of it is a mystical quality. But she knows that the tree is there, that place in Green Park that no one goes to or speaks of, the place she was warned about by many of the kindred of the city. But Nor Hillingham is no fool, and tonight she is on a mission.
On a mission indeed. The feeling that the emotion that's coursing through Nora's veins very strongly. It's very similar to that feeling, that pulse that she got when she was sent that letter, that infuriating letter. There's anticipation, there's fear, but also something further. There's that sense of dread when you know that something's watching you, when something is so close behind you, it can almost reach out a hand and touch you. And that is terrifying. To not know when this boogeyman will come out to grab you, drag you under the bed with it, eat you whole. No. Nora's made peace with the fact that she will die a brutal end. She knows it. She expects it. And to that end, she refuses to live like a coward. And instead of waiting for the monster to crawl up from under her bed, she's decided to crawl down there with it. Her terms. And if tonight's the end of her, so be it. Let no man or kindred ever say that Nora Hillingham was a coward. Pride. A flaw, a deadly sin even. She looks towards where the tree would be. Clenches her jaw, unclenches it. Takes the breath to steady herself, doesn't need it. And then realizes that she's doing all these reflexive human things like a scared animal. Closes her eyes, lets the exhale go. No, not tonight. You're not a rabbit tonight. And if the mouth of hell will open to swallow you, then I hope that you make it choke. And she steps boldly from her car. With but a single item, actually, in her pocket, a set of pliers. Why will be revealed later. Steadies and steels herself, puts all of her willpower towards it, well, not all the dots, but as much as I can spend in a scene, to, in the same instance as when she first walked away from the first meeting with these creatures, walk away steady, she walks towards them again steady. This is going to be interesting. But she doesn't activate Flush of Health. Doesn't do anything of the sort. Matter of fact, she's actually, more than anything, retreating over Tay into herself at the moment, ready to burn it in any given second. She needs everything that she has right now. And knowing, having a taste of what it is that she's fucking with in previous nights, makes her almost more determined. And she steps into that park and she walks towards that tree.
Since you are spending the willpower, you're able to steady yourself. You're able to walk with that pride, that self acceptance, as it were. Perhaps it is in the blood, perhaps this is just who Nora Hillingham is, but however you cut it, she does not show fear as she approaches the tree. And because of that, as she walks up the hill, please give me a. Let's go. Resolve plus composure minus 5. Oh, sorry, plus blood potency.
That's what potency.
Yes.
Not gonna do anything. Sorry.
In that case, very almost identically, she'll remember the feeling. That feeling where it becomes just ever so slightly harder to think. Like she suddenly become very tired. Not like the tired when she just could not hear anything but the sound of that terrible heartbeat, that curse that was put upon her by that creature, that yellow eyed thing that lived inside that corpse of the woman and the corpse of the bellhop at the Hilton. No, this is a bit different. This is like perhaps being drunk without the euphoria. It just becomes ever so slightly harder to keep track of things, keep track of the surroundings. Again, your attention is drawn more and more to the tree. Soon you cannot really focus on much at all but the tree before you. It is a very surreal experience going forward. And as you go forward, you don't even really notice it, but the tree vanishes before you, and you are walking down a forested trail surrounded by those same dead trees like before. But you are not alone. As you are walking, you can just sort of hear the falls of a cane off in the distance, approaching you. And as you look forward, your mind very, very blurred. Can't really tell how much time you've been walking down this road, perhaps all night even. But this individual approaches, and it is a man in a tweed jacket, different than before, as he has curly blonde hair now, but he still has a pair of horned rimmed glasses on as he approaches you, cane in hand. Again, a pleasant smile upon his face, a amusement, as it were. And he just stands before you, looking at you, as almost to say without speaking, Nora, 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 Nora. What on earth brings you back here? But no words are said. He just smiles and looks at you through those very unfashionable glasses.
For a moment, Nora holds the gaze, but then lowers her head, almost bows. Something that she wouldn't do for just anyone, matter of fact. But respect where it's due. This is probably the best time to actually make the role that was mentioned earlier in a private message conversation. The does Nora remember anything, and what does she remember? So it's a single die, a chance die, and I might just roll that now if you don't mind.
Oh, be my guest.
Does not. So she remembers roughly the dream as previously described, but she wouldn't remember this dude in the actual conversation.
Well, it's strange. It's easier to remember now than it was before, but you find it harder to pull details from what you were doing beforehand, what you were doing earlier tonight. It's think of it as state-dependent memory, if you will. It becomes a lot
Okay.
easier. You can remember who this person is, but those other things, those other people, you're not entirely sure who they are. But this person, the name grandfather, rings through your head.
Hmm. Nora just shuffles. She knows it's nervous reflex and she hates herself for doing it, but she just shuffles and puts her hand in her pocket and holds the pliers in her hand, just grips them and go. I still don't know what you'd like for a present, so I thought I'd give a gesture instead.
He, still smiling, is just ever so slightly turns his head to the side, almost cocking it. But it's done in a very jerky manner, as though he's doing without any real concern for his well being. It's just he's so overcome with curiosity and amusement that well, you're not really sure, but it is rather unnerving, perhaps more unnerving than it would normally be.
Not knowing how the gesture will be taken, Nora continues with what she was going to do anyway, and take the pliers out of her pocket and actually tear one of her fangs out and give them to him.
In that case, give me a resolve plus composure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say minus just one dice because you are pulling out one of your own teeth, so.
One will do it at least.
Yep.
Holy shit! I'm
Oh
determined.
my. My,
This one
in
will
that
do.
case. So 4 successes, almost a exceptional success. So she does so very resolutely, and you do take a point of, I'd say, bashing damage,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because you can easily grow back the teeth. But again, you just pull it out. It is excruciating, but
Mm-hmm.
even so, you find that your senses are somewhat dulled here in this strange forest. The pain is a little
Mm-hmm.
bit farther away. Your beast is a little bit farther away.
As I
And
said, it's meant to be more of a gesture than anything else.
as he just sort of looks at you and goes, smiling, head still cocked, you are just a delight, Nora.
I'm glad I amused you.
As blood is still sort of pooling down your lip and onto your chin.
Mm-hmm. It sort of sucks at the wound, tries to get it to coagulate so it's not free blood flowing.
Oh,
Gets a hanky out,
no, no
pats at it.
problem. It's again with your vampiric capabilities, just licking it sort of seals it up.
I've come to bargain with you, if
As
possible.
he will just sort of walk to the side of the path, making a spot for you, and he'll just turn and begin to walk away, but slowly at a sort of even pace, so that way you can catch up to him.
Mm-hmm. Catching up to him and keeping pace.
He just says, not looking at you now, just sort of smiling and looking ahead with that tane tapping ever so rhythmically with each step forward. Now, what, dear Nora, what would you possibly want to bargain with us for? I would have thought that your little skirmish with one of our younglings would have dissuaded you from coming back here permanently. And you've taken to keeping such disreputable friends, too.
Disreputable. See, I'm new to the city, don't know who's reputable or not. But the little skirmish that you call it, that is why I'm back here. I don't know how many of you there are, how tightly knit you are, but I've come to ask that what happened between us stay between us.
As he, still not looking at, will just say, oh, Nora, 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 Nora.
I'm
Your
aware of my
little
name.
escapade was the talk of the tree for a while. It is not becoming for a little chick to rush headlong into the fire, as it were. Undoubtedly, you will have to pay for that sooner or later. But
I know it.
honestly, I couldn't care less. A bit of amusement is welcome around here, especially how it was done in such a spectacular manner. I could only imagine what kind of hunger that must have been. If only you could have just gotten a taste.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I've amused you. The thing is, though, I know for a fact that she is pissed at me. Has to be. I'd be pissed at me. I know that she's going to come for me. It's inevitable. I know that she'll probably kill me. But I want her to do it. I don't want to be torn apart by a pack. Clean fight, you know? For all that you might think that I'm nothing, I have my pride. And I'll face death. I don't care.
Oh, that is very noble of you, but it seems kind of foolish, don't you think? I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you did. You acted in self defense. Don't think that it is a crime for the wolf to not defend its own territory, to nip at those who would threaten it. That was
She said
not
that
the.
this was her territory.
Oh, Nora, 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 Nora. Would you
What?
believe someone of your own kind if they were to say that London was their territory?
If they can hold it, who am I to argue?
But that is the thing. That's what it always comes down to. It always comes down to power, hunger. Who is the bigger monster, Nora?
Beware the fury of the patient man.
He sort of cocks his head again. He's not heard that saying before. But then returns again, that amused smile upon his face. I will tell you what. I can make you powerful. More powerful than the one you want.
All these things I will give to thee if thou bow down and worship me. That old saying.
Oh, no, no, no. Why? Why would I want something as human as worship? That is just disgusting.
It's a biblical quote. Satan said it to Jesus. I thought it was apt. Not that I have anything near Jesus.
Again, he's just sort of look at
That's
you with that cocked head, sort of wondering what possibly made you think he's read the Bible at all.
literature. All right. Seems that once again I've stepped on your turf. Seems that once again I'm at a disadvantage. And she looks longingly off into the distance. And you'll be able to see her bite the inside of her lip like she's weighing something up. And just shake her head. Why would you even care? Why would you make that offer to me?
Why not? You've brought nothing but entertainment. It's so nice to see a youngling who's willing to stick their neck into the fire and succeed. It shows promise, delicious promise. You could show a lot of these kindred, as he'll say with a hint of disgust, a thing or two in the city. In fact, I'll make this even simpler. I have the power to give you a tutor, someone who can answer those questions that are just bouncing around inside of your head, the things that haunt your days, the questions that you just cannot find the answers to because the questions are ephemeral, like smoke, unable to touch, unable to grasp, and it's just eating away at you. I can smell it.
Nora's brow furrows. She clenches her hands. Looks at the palms, unclenches, clenches. If it comes too easy, I've not worked for it. If I haven't worked for it, have I earned it?
Work. Nora, 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 Nora.
You seem to really like my name.
I love names. It is the key to identity, and you have such a lovely identity. It's just marinated in life. Oh. And it's very creepy when he says this, as his eyes just widen and glow bright yellow, sickeningly yellow. He
Nora will actually
smiles.
take a step back. And just pop her finger up, like, I think I'll be on my way. Said Little Red Riding Hood to the big bad wolf.
Nora, 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 Nora. Do you even know where you are, Nora?
No, I don't. Actually, I do. I'm in big trouble.
Oh, but you came. You sacrificed. Sacrifice, Nora. That is the true lessons of life. Work, worth, sin, all of it are constructs that man created, that man despoiled upon this beautiful world teeming with such sweet life. I can show you. We can teach you. You are not a scholar, nor you are a predator, a tiger walking through the jungle, and your prey is the answer that you seek. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You just need to pounce, take it, sink your fangs into it. Taste its sweet, sweet blood upon your lips.
You actually hear that her teeth almost chatter with effort. No. No. You find me entertaining. That's cute. And she won't meet your eyes anymore. There's a hellfire fury there that she can't match. For all that she's tried, for all that I amuse you. Wouldn't it be better for you to keep me alive then, so I can keep amusing you? Keep me in this state that amuses you?
Again, he just sort of cocks his head and turns to you and says, "Why, Nora, what on earth ever made you think that I was going to do anything to you?"
I don't know what you are. Well, I have an idea.
Oh? Who could have possibly told you that? Could it
You'll
be
do worse than she
your
did.
little
You'll do
friend?
worse than she did. You'll
Oh,
do worse than
Nora,
she did, but I'll deal with it.
Nora, 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 Nora Hillingham. Little Nora Hillingham. I'll tell you what.
I came
I'll
here
let
to make a
you.
deal with you.
Well, the deal.
Is
Let's
done.
hear it.
We have nothing further to discuss.
Oh, I don't think that. You'll come back. And you'll come back enlightened. You see, there's a person who lives in a little house just sort of by a park in Soho. He's a sort of ratty man, like you, kindred. He likes to snoop around below the earth. I'm going to deliver a name to your place of residence with an address. Oh, it will be a pitiful name because this is a pitiful excuse of a beast. And you will go there and you will not kill him. You will eat him. You will drink him dry. You will taste the essence of his being, the predator and the prey. And you will come back and you will be welcome. You will be respected by us. It's so simple. He'll even let you into this house. You see, he's a member of that little herd that you like to form. That, oh, names. The dragons, yes, they call yourselves the dragons. When has a dragon ever read books? A dragon eats, a dragon takes, a dragon spirits away the virgin to be sacrificed. And that is going to be your little lamb, Nora, 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 Nora. And you'll do it. You will, because
No.
you want to know. You want to know what happens. You want to know what's off the edge of the map, Nora, 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 Nora. Nothing will stop you. Not Mr. Graves, not Mr. Green, not not even yourself. That part of you that keeps stopping you from becoming the one you were always meant to become. The perfect predator, the devourer of knowledge and secrets. A real dragon. One that all will tremble in fear before. One that even your creator would smile upon.
You know nothing of him.
And that laughter takes you right back to the first time you were at the tree. I'm feeling generous. You are such a treat. Nora, 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 Nora. Every human cuts apart that piece inside themselves, the piece inside themselves that makes them want to be human. And in that hole we make our nests and roost deep down inside and sleep during the days and nights until the person dies.
What are you?
Who, Nora? Who? Who? Who am I? Again, that almost now completely mocking, just playful smile upon himself.
The one I tussled with. She'll come for me, won't she?
Oh, she will, but you'll defeat her. You will best her. You'll best her because you are a better predator. Nora, Nora, Nora. She'll go back to the prey that she can beat. She will learn nothing. She will continue to hunt mice in the fields, taking them to the pond, watching them squirm and drown, making sure they can't come up for air. That is what she does. That is how she likes to feed. She does not yet know. She has not tasted the sweetness of hunting big game. But you have. You have. You have. The moment you broke through that wall and your claws were upon the prey's throat. And if you had the answers, she wouldn't have gotten away.
Keep your lamb. When she comes for me, I'll devour her. I promise you.
Oh, I'm counting on it. You have a bright future ahead of you, Miss Hillingham. Just make sure not to associate with any shady types. Their humanity is a weakness upon the predator that you are becoming. Now, run along. As he'll just sort of gesture, and at this point you'll sort of notice that you've sort of made a full circle around the park, and you're just sort of back right by the parking lot. The forest is gone, your thoughts are beginning to return, and it's becoming harder and harder to remember the conversation, except for a few key bits. But that feeling, the feelings you felt, is all there.
Stupid, stupid, stupid Nora. Why do you keep doing this to yourself?
And at that point, you'll just sort of notice the person you were walking with is just gone. In that moment where you questioned, he just sort of slipped away from your sight, and like a phantom, like smoke, he is gone.
Nora turns, looks back. A long time has that old soul-destroying hunger, that entire feeling is returning to her slowly but surely. She was able to block it out after the incident in the hotel room, but now slowly that hole's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. How long can she resist? Who knows? At what cost? What would be the cost to give in? No, she turns back to the car, reaches in her pocket for her keys. As she pulls them out, she actually startles at the noise of the clinking of the keys, not used to the sudden noise as all the fog rolls away, and she snaps back to where she is. Well, she's not dead. Oh, looks at herself. She is so dead, but not that dead. Which means that at least, for all that I can't remember it, at least the deal went reasonably well. Maybe, I can't remember. But it looks like she's on. And when you are beyond terrified, beyond scared, beyond tired, sometimes that makes you the most dangerous creature in the world because you're desperate. She's hoping that she can bend her beast that way. Be something greater. Be one with it. But not lose herself to it. Ah, a delicate fine line. She gets in the car and puts on just a soothing piano concerto. Sits there for a while, just watching the people walking past. Blinking slowly and just tongues the gap in her teeth where another tooth is already crawling through. And then toddles off to a less reputable place of London for a feed, but then finds she has no appetite for it. She nearly gets out of the car, seeing somebody who would be easy pickings. Looks at him again, scrunches her nose up. It's not what she wants. So hungry, confused, scared to the pit of her stomach, but with a sudden determination ever growing, throbbing in the back of her brain, perhaps like a heartbeat. She goes home, continues her experiments, continues her preparations. And here we can leave the scene. On my end, anyway.
Indeed. And that is where our scene will end. Thank you all for watching, and have a lovely night.